So what if I told you that there's a phrase that we hear or that we say quite often that doesn't mean what we think it means? Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just here at my house grabbing some lunch real quick. But a question's been going through my mind, and the question is this. When we say, here let me get out of the light right there. When we say, it doesn't really matter, do we really mean that, or can we say it with all sincerity and with all honesty? Now, before we dive into the complexities of this question, I think truly you can say it doesn't matter and truly mean it. However, when we use the words, it doesn't matter, I think sometimes it really does. I don't know if you have had taco soup, but taco soup is one of my favorites. But you definitely need some cheese, so I'll grab some of that. You definitely also need some sour cream, so we will grab some of that. And then also, it's always nice to have chips, so I'll grab some of those as well. So this term, does it really matter, is also closely related to the sentiment, it is what it is. You know, we often use that to make sense of a moment, to rationalize what's just happened in a certain circumstance, whatever that might be. So like I said, I think there really is something to this phrase that goes beyond just a sentiment or just a statement. So I quickly did a little Google search on what the psychology behind this statement might be. Quickly I found out that people get way deeper into this than what I want to do on this video. So I'll just summarize. There was one article that I read that simply said this: it doesn't matter is a statement of fact that one is trying, but perhaps struggling, to accept. And I think that's true. I think when we use the statement, it doesn't matter, we are trying to internally rationalize or make sense of what it is that we've just experienced or what it is that's happened in our lives. For instance, maybe there's a job that you really wanted and you didn't get it. And I don't know much about, obviously, the counseling or the psychology of all of this, but I think we all tried to protect ourselves or tried to not feel as much hurt or pain by saying, well, it didn't really matter. You know, it doesn't matter. It didn't really matter to me. Therefore, I can't be upset about this or frustrated about this. And so we say these things to just move on. Hey everybody, I am just editing the video and I wanted to hop on here and clarify kind of what I was trying to say in this next section. The premise of this video is not to be second guessing anyone who says these statements. So if you hear or have friends that say, oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want this video to be about, well, question them. Do they really mean that? More so, if you use this term to hide perhaps what's really going on. That's my main point in creating this video. It's not to point out that people are dishonest and untrustworthy, that you can trust people in your life. All right, hope that made sense. Now back to the video. First, if you hear these words, perhaps you could ask a follow-up question like, are you sure? And if they say, yep, absolutely, we move on, we take their word for it. But what if you're the one saying it? What if you're the one always saying, yeah, it doesn't really matter, and yet you know down deep that it does? What might you do differently instead of just using those sentiments or those phrases to kind of avoid what's really taking place? Well, like any good self-evaluation, I think obviously you need to be honest with yourself, right? That's where it starts. Why is it that you're trying to avoid what you're really going through? Be honest with yourself if it really does matter. If you really wanted that job, or you really were hoping for circumstances in your life to look a little different or change, it's probably not healthy to continue on in life not dealing with that hurt or rejection or pain or whatever it might be. Like, that's stuff that we need to process. So first, be truthful about it. Next, do the work of processing through it. If you recognize that you need to deal with something, that you need to be honest with yourself about something, then you have to do the work to process that. And that's going to look different for everybody. Maybe it's as simple as writing, what it is that you feel down so you can get it out. Maybe it's talking to a close friend or someone you trust. Maybe for you, there's a lot of baggage behind this idea, and you need to go talk with a professional, a counselor, someone who can process this stuff for you. Whatever it might be, it's good and healthy to go ahead and process, do the work, because it'll only make you a better individual in the future. And you'll have a lot less stress and worry and anxiety and all these things that just aren't healthy for life. And my final step or suggestion is mean it. Once you've been honest with yourself, once you've processed, then the next time you say it doesn't matter, mean it. You should come to a place where when you say sentiments like it doesn't really matter or it is what it is, that really is the truth. Because ultimately, you're going to be so much more happy, so much more joyful when you can live in the truth of what you're really saying. All right, and finally, just a verse that came to mind as I was thinking about this. Proverbs 12:17 says, "Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit." The words that we say to one another matters, and the words that we tell ourselves matter. So next time you find yourself saying, it doesn't really matter, or it is what it is, maybe ask yourselves, does it though? All right, see you guys on the next one.